Once upon a time, princesses were called to rescue two captured plumbers. They trained intensely to master the skills necessary for survival. If you can stand up to really mean people, maybe you have what it takes to be a princess. Your mission? To use fire, wind, and water to save Mario and Luigi. Super Princess Peach, only on Nintendo DS. Rated E for everyone.
Super Princess Peach. Yeah, that's right. I picked this game up for $90, and that may seem expensive for an old DS game, and indeed, it kind of is, but that's actually a fairly good price for this game. I've seen this game going for anywhere between $100 and $120 on Facebook Marketplace, and it's always been like an hour or two away from me, not locally, so yeah, $90 is actually a fairly good deal, and yeah, it's in good condition, and everything's here for it. It's, as far as I can tell, it's complete. Obviously the cartridge, and we've got, look at all this stuff. Not like today. Got a full color manual. Right, and you know, the extra stuff. Again, I assume it's complete. I assume this is everything that it came with. I'm not super concerned whether it is or it isn't. Honestly, if it just had the manual, I'd be fine with that. This stuff I'm not really concerned about. I'm not like, oh my god, it has to be complete. If it's got the manual, that's really all I care about. And yeah, and it's in good shape, so yeah, again, $90 is actually not a bad deal for this game. I didn't know about this game's existence until about a year ago. Like, I had no idea this game existed. And then, you know, I realized, okay, so it was for Nintendo DS. I thought, oh, it must have been like a really late DS release. You know, maybe that's why I never heard of it. No, that's not the case. This game came out in 2005. Got 2005 copyright on the back, and I think it came out in Japan in 2005 and North America in 2006. But yeah, either way, that's not a late. I think the DS came out in 2005, didn't it? Maybe 2004 in Japan. I don't recall offhand, but it's, if anything, it's an early game. It's not a late game. So yeah, it's yeah, it's quite odd. I've never heard of it. This is a game, when I first saw it, it was basically like love at first sight. This game is absolutely gorgeous. As far as 2D sprite animation goes, lots of parallax scrolling in the background, lots of multi-layer scrolling. It's top-notch for its time. I wanted to say it looks a lot like Yoshi's Island in the way it's colorful and animated and, you know, lots of parallax scrolling, but it doesn't have that like painted brush stroke look. So yeah, it kind of looks like Yoshi's Island, but not really. It is a Super Mario Brothers game in that it's a platformer, and there's, you know, a little bit of puzzles, a little bit of power-ups, and fairly straightforward, you know, linear progression. Go from left to right, get to the end of the level, that kind of a thing. It's you know, it's unique in that you're playing. Obviously, the whole premise is that, you know, Mario, Luigi, and Toad get captured for a change, and you've got to rescue them. And so obviously you're playing as Princess Peach. And she has some different power-ups or different abilities. She uses her umbrella. She's got a special umbrella that she uses as a weapon, and it has some unique power-ups or unique abilities that it can do. And you also can power up the umbrella. So as you're gaining coins in the game, you can actually use those coins to buy upgrades for the umbrella. So that's a little unique. You know, it's kind of like a Wario Land game in a way, where when you're playing as Wario, it's still a standard Mario platformer. It's still left to right, get to the end of the level. But Wario plays very differently, and he has unique power-ups, and kind of the same thing here. Princess Peach plays differently, and she has her unique power-ups and unique abilities, but it still very much plays like a Super Mario Brothers game, and that's a good thing. So her main power-ups or abilities are her vibes. I would call them moods. It may be kind of ironic that for the female protagonist, they thought her moods would take over and make her more powerful in certain ways. I don't know if that's saying something, but yeah, you've got these 4 vibes, and they're basically like anger, scared, sad, and I think happy or excited. The abilities are activated with the touchscreen. So on the bottom screen, you've got these 4 different colored hearts, and you click on those to activate that vibe. And it will stay activated until your vibe meter runs out, or until you click it again. So you don't have to use it all. You can click it, use it while you need it, and then you can click it to unuse it, and you'll have, maybe half of your vibe meter still available. It does get used up pretty quickly, but you can also fill it up pretty quickly. One thing to say, it is a little easier, perhaps, than most Super Mario Brothers games. I guess the game was marketed towards younger girls, trying to get more girls into, buying the DS at the time, I suppose, or getting them into Nintendo. And, it's great that Peach has her own, game. But yeah, it's a little easier, maybe, than some of the other Mario games, for sure. That's fine with me. It's still fun. It still has great play mechanics, great levels, great music. And again, like I said, it looks amazing. So I wanted it, whether, it was made for little girls. Oh no. I still wanted it, It's a great looking game. It's fun. And honestly, I think you should check it out if you're a Nintendo fan, if you're a fan of the Super Mario Brothers games. It's definitely worth checking out. Unfortunately, a little expensive. And as far as I know, this is the only way this game's ever been released. They didn't port it to, the Wii or the Wii U or the 3DS. As far as I know, this is like the only way to play this game. So, in a way, that's kind of cool and kind of unique. Again, I do recommend playing this game if you can. And if you want to pick up a copy, just be aware it's going to probably run you, $60 to $80 US or $90 to $120 Canadian. It's just it's just a slightly less common game. I had never seen it in the wild before. Like, I've been to several game stores over the last year looking through their DS games where, again, before I had no idea this game existed, and now I was actively looking for it, but I've never seen it in a game store. Not to say that it's like super rare, but it's not common. So, and it's holding its value. It's a good game, and I think it's worth picking up. Pay a little bit for it, but it's a good game.